and if it comes back. So there we are. Yay! I can see myself. So it's got a few little glitches. Really nice software though. Other than that, I can hear my audio. So cool. We're good, says Katie. Very nice indeed. Big shout out to everybody. Welcome, of course. Now now that we've got the live feed out of the way, in a 3 hours time, just under 3 hours time, we're gonna have a special live show with Power City with Just Ask Jesse and KDP. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure super alpha informational if you want to find out about Power City. As you guys know, it's one of my very top projects, if not close to the top. I did my top 10, and it's really right up there. So they're doing some incredible things for Pulsechain. It's going to be a lot of fun. So big welcome. Let's see who's in the house there. And before we get into it, you know how we're going to roll. We're going to get stock market. We're going to get into crypto. We're going to get into Hadron, Ikosa, and of course we're going to get, I think we've got a Pulsechain project update today. I think we've got one Pulsechain project update today, and then of course the Hex daily stats, and of course the big news with the 600 Hex per T-share jump. Now yesterday it didn't show up on the 16th as we expected, but it did. So that technical reversal is reversed again back to normally what it was. So it turns up on the 17th instead, and we got the big 600 Hex per T-share jump. We've also got Hex at a pretty critical point as well, trying to attack that 5.6 cents, and it may break out during this live stream. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be pretty fun. What do you guys reckon? We're going to get into it anyway. All right, let's see who's in the house. We got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? Very good, of course. And Lies always brings the ultimate strategy here. Hello, all Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLX for the win. Very cool to see Lies Beneath in the chat there. We got Brian, one of our 2 community leads there. What's up, folks? Finally made it home in time for the start of the live stream. Nice, very nice. What else there? Check my pulse. What's up, all? 2023 year, the year of Pulsechain. Absolutely, that is our catchphrase for this year. I'm sure of it. That is pretty awesome. So big shout out to you. Check my pulse. Christian Collins in the house as well. Good to see you, Christian. We've got Sandy Beach as well in the house, one of our moderators. Good to see Sandy Beach as always. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Let's go all the way down. We've got Ramon Carrillo in the house there. Hello, family. Good to see you. Let me know in the chat there where you are from around the world. Let us know. Let's see how many people we've got from different countries in the world. Let us know in the chat. Be really interested to see that as well. So go for gold on that. Put that in there. Genuine's in house there. Hiya. Just realized I missed a PC show. I guess Power City show. I thought it was today. No, it's in 3 hours time. Just under 3 hours. About 2 hours and 45 now. Definitely coming up there in the future. What else we've got there? Humberto says BlackRock managed a CSPX, and NFT has been converted into a token on Ethereum and now able to be traded on Uniswap, game changer for decentralized exchanges. Imagine BlackRock on Pulsechain. Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll be looking at Pulsechain, Humberto. I would not be surprised if their crypto division is looking at Pulsechain. Hexforce 1 says, hello, Superman and Hexkins. Good to see you. Hexforce 1 has landed. And of course, who else is in here? We've got KD says, we're all good. Thanks for that feedback there. It had a few little technical difficulties to start off the show, but I think we've got through that. Check my pulse has got the thumbs up. Nice. Good old Shano's in the house. Hey, Shano. Always a pleasure. And, of course, one of our mods as well. And Shano is pretty active on Twitter. I always see Shano's comments. I don't comment on them always, but I see them there, Shano. A big shout out to you. Who else there? PSI as well. Happy Friday, everybody. Or Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday here in good old Kiwi land. It is Saturday the 18th of February, and it's 40 minutes past 12. So we've got 20 minutes left in the Hex Day, and that's going to close up, and we'll talk about the Hex Daily stats there as well. All right, here we go. We've got to kick off with the countries. Van Sam's watching today. Hi, all from Belgium. So Van Sam's watching from Belgium. Big shout out to you. Great to see you in the house. Ramon Carrillo, Texas, USA. Howdy, Ramon. Howdy. We got Mixers in the house as well. Irvine, Orange County, says Mixer. Nice. PSI says LA. Good old Los Angeles. Who else? HD says hi, all from Dublin, Ireland. Hey, great to see you, HD. Now, I've been to Texas, but only to the airport. So I've only been to depot. Haven't been to Belgium. On Irvine, Orange County. I don't think I've been there either. LA have been there to at night. I've been there overnight from the airport, stayed at a hotel. I did a bit of a was it the Hollywood Star tour? So I did do that, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, haven't seen much of it myself. Mixed Yami says, greetings to all my moon comrades. Yeah, absolutely. Brian says, Phoenix, Arizona here. Hey, Brian, nice to see you. Phoenix, Arizona. Definitely know where that is. And Ted Nelson, Pennsylvania, USA. Big shout out to you, Ted. And we got Joey here as well from New York. How you doing? How you doing, Joey? How you doing, Joey, from New York? I would love to go and go to the Italian community in New York because I've seen it on so many movies and I want to hear the accents like a real New Yorker Italian accent. That'd be cool. In real life, it would probably fall back or what? That's so cool. Large Pizza says hello from beautiful Sarasota, Florida. Woohoo! Yeah, I've been to Florida. I stayed there for 2 months in Florida, and when I was about 16 years old, so that was a lot of fun. I was just outside Tampa, Florida, I think it was, where I was, and I went to NASA and saw a rocket go up and all that sort of stuff. It was pretty fun. Hex Force One in the house there, Tucson, Arizona. Hey, that's pretty cool. Big shout out to you in Arizona, so 2 people there. And Blobfish King says, I'm from Communist Australia. That's hilarious, Blobfish King. Big shout out to you, the Aussies. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. We got Accommodesiated there from SE, Michigan. A big shout out to you. That's where they make all the big cars, American cars, isn't it, Michigan? I'm pretty sure. And how is the weather? Hey, look, the weather in New Zealand is great. It's the first sunny day we've had in a long time after these storms. It's amazing. Now, a couple of years ago, we had these storms. We had all these twisters, and we've had pretty normal weather for that since that time. But now we've had another cycle back with some storms. We've had doesn't seem like we've had a big summer at all, but we've definitely outside. At least when I woke up this morning, it was beautifully sunny, like a beautiful summer day. People were outside, pretty happy, and that was cool to see. Double Blessing says, g'day from Melbourne, says Double Blessing. Now, from the floods, there's still a lot of people down, particularly down on the east coast, down, I think it's towards Hastings and places like that. They've still got a lot of issues there. Obviously, some dramatic damage and the flooding, what the flooding does. And so they're trying to get water to the people there. And, of course, a big shout out to Chantal Baker there. She's also part of that, and she's part of the freedom movement, but also part of helping people when they need it, practical help. So getting water to people, so that's really cool, part of that effort there. Also working with the effort teams there by the government and local government groups there and private NGOs, so it's pretty good. PSI says, why is the population of Ireland capital so large? And, of course, it's freaking freezing in Michigan, says Academiciated. Yeah, well, it's kind of the opposite here, I guess, today. That's for sure. Keep warm there. Keep warm. And HD says, because it keeps doubling or something like that. Keeps doubling, says HD. That's very funny. All right, let's get into it, folks. We're going to get into the stock market. Big welcome, of course. I've got to reset all my screens because I lost them all. So let's get on to this. And let's put up our full-fledged here. Let's go. Now, we are going to be trying to finish on the hour because 2 hours later, I will be having the Power City a live stream. So you guys can't miss that. It's going to be really fun to see, Just Ask Jesse and KDP from Twitter, an influencer on Twitter, as well as obviously in the Power City team. So we'll get on to that. So here's the stock market. Stock market today. Dow ends higher, but weekly losses mount as Fed fears a bite. So still the same narrative all week from at least from investing.com, and of course the Fed fears bite there. The Dow struggling to do much this week at all. Let's hope next week is nice and green because that'd be quite good for us because we've had not too bad. We've had pretty good in the crypto market, bar yesterday's shock pullback, and we've had a pretty good, I would say. So the Dow Jones there, we have got that's up by 0.4%. So at least the Dow Jones is up. Remember, that's the top 30 industrials inside the Dow Jones. That's up 130 points to 33,826. So it's sort of more your bellwether companies. But moving to the tech indices, S&P 500, that is down 0.3%, 11 points to 4,079. And the Nasdaq there is down 0.6%, 68 points, down to 11,787. That is the indices, folks. And now the S&P 500, that is down as well. So that's kind of cool to see that. 0.7%, down to 20.02. The dollar index is up against its trading partners, obviously with generally risk off the growth stocks. We've got up just a tad there to 103.83 is the index on the US dollar. Now, commodities, we got the Brent oil coming down 2.34%. That's pretty decent, almost $2 down to $83.15, and crude oil coming down $2.75 to $76.33. So really cool to see that. And of course, the other day, remember, we saw a jump in the inventories from the US as well, which is nice to see that too. So good to see that for inflation front as well. So cool. We've got gold down is pretty flat actually, down 35 cents at $1,851. Silver is pretty flat as well, slightly up, and 1 cent up, and $21.72. So both of them pretty flat really there on gold and silver. Let's get into the commentary. The Dow ended higher Friday, but that wasn't enough to prevent a third weekly loss as growth stocks, including tech, were wounded by surging treasury yields on fears of a more aggressive federal rate hikes as signs of a stronger economy and sticky inflation persist. Now, this will impact crypto at some stage, so I think it's the stock market obviously gets hit with this, but crypto is got a lot less to worry about. But we will have times when the crypto market's going to be, impacted by this at some stage. It's going to be a lot harder to pick, but that will be definitely happening. Big tech remained under pressure as economic data, including Wednesday's wholesale inflation report, stoked fears that the Fed rate hike path has widened. So I'm not sure what they mean by widened there. They basically mean higher rates than 5.1, or they're going to mean longer rates as well, or both. We'll see. In light of the strong growth and firm inflation news, we're adding another 25 basis points. Well, there's our answer, folks. I asked the question, and there is the answer there. Another 25 basis point hike to our Fed forecast, Goldman Sachs said in a note. So that's what they're calling. I'm not sure whether they mean in addition to May, because I kind of already had that priced in. So we'll see what that means. But in any case, Google parent Alphabet, which is the Google parent Alphabet, and Microsoft and Apple closed in the red, while Facebook ended the day just above the flat line. The recent market rally off the lows has certainly been impressive, but I think excessive, says Chief Market Strategist David Keller at Stock Charts, and that's what they told investing.com. I think that retracement period is what we start to process here going into the middle of the year, and probably wouldn't be surprised at that at all for the stock market. But what will crypto do? Crypto's been kind of heading in a different direction, although we've seen some big volatility as well. So maybe that's what we're going to expect there. The rotation into growth sectors, including tech, which helped the broader market rack up impressive start to the year, is like to lose further momentum from higher rates and the stronger dollar. I would agree with this assessment, but I think that we don't have the issue with earnings and the valuation impact of interest rates. So crypto's got that insulation, but we will move around with some of this news. There's no doubt about that. We've got some of the same players in the game as well from the institutions. From a technical perspective, if you buy into the growth story and think about riding tech and consumer communication names higher, you need to assume two things. Number one, you need to assume that rates are going to remain low, which I don't think is the case. I would probably agree with that. I don't think they'll be excessively high though. And the number two, you need to assume that the dollar is going to continue to weaken, which I don't think is the case either. And it's true as well. I think they're going to go together. Energy also brought the pain to the broader market, falling more than 3%. Of course, we saw that with the price updates for oil, paced by falling oil prices amid worries that the further Fed hikes will blunt demand. So that is the update there. There's other stuff there, but we're going to jump past all that. There's the stock market update today in commodities. We're going to just pivot over to crypto, and of course, let's get onto it. So we're going to pivot over to crypto. We've got BTC at 24,623. Make up your mind. Make up your mind, man. It was so dramatic. On BTC, crazy. So we went hit over 25,000, back under 24,000, and now we're back in towards the top end of 24,000 here, up 3.57% on BTC. Crazy stuff yesterday, but we're back. This is great. This is great. And the stock market might be doing its thing all week, but crypto's been pretty good. But volatility, we have more volatility. So it's that way. So Ethereum there, 1682, up 2.44%. We got BNB up to $312, up 2.2%. There are kind of our three leaders there. Jumping over to Matic, which is in the pack as well, up 10% on Matic to $1.50. So Matic doing very well indeed. Let's have a look at Solana. Solana is up 3.27%. That's at $23. So that's some of the leaders in the pack there. Now, let's have a see what else is out here happening. Now, USDC still under peg. A little worry on this, to be honest. That's down 1% at 98.3 cents there on USDC. Obviously under the regulatory stress as well, maybe impacting that. USD Tether, however, is back at a dollar peg. So it's kind of cool to see that. And what else we got going on here on these other we've got a couple other stables here. Frax is below peg just 99.8, and USDD is 99.1. So not great seeing this. Obviously on Pulsechain we're going to have a lot of algo collateralized ones there based on Pulse and PulseX. It's going to be cool, and a pretty streamlined non-custodial fiat on ramp as well. And then, of course, a form of Frax as well. That's actually a bit of a hybrid between about 4 or 5 different systems. So it's going to be interesting to see that goes with Bank X. So there we are. That's based on the Frax one there. And Terra Luna and a few other systems. So we're going to see how that goes. But it's definitely coming from the looks of it. So that's kind of the highlights there. We can see that Link is sort of standing out as well. That is up 7.5% to $7.56. We've got Sanders doing pretty well, also up to $76, 76 cents, sorry, at 5.68%. Just having a look at a few others there. So that's some of the highlights there as well. We can see some dark greens here. There's definitely some really big opportunities. ICP, Phil, Flow, Kayla. I mean, there's some really ones doing really well there on the old crypto. So looking pretty good. We're in a pretty good position leading into the weekend, which is kind of nice. As I say, I think for me the top of this crypto rally potentially is 30K. I think we will probably hit down from there, given the interest rates environment coming up. I just really find it hard, even with crypto being decoupled, as I said earlier on, from earning season, things like that, that we're going to be completely insulated from that. So you got to remember that some of these players also may sell crypto profits to not only play the game, but also go in and buy what they think are cheap stocks at some stage. There's a bit of that give or take as well, which is kind of crazy, but hey, that's what happens. Moving to Hex, we're going to get Hex now. Hex is, this is the talk of the town. Man, oh man, you think we're going to get up here to 5.6 cents, right? Here we are on the 15-minute chart. You can see we got up to 5.6 cents here. This is our key breakout point, right? And then what do people do? Like yesterday, it was understandable. You know, you kind of say, well, it was sort of holding there. And then, of course, we got the Bitcoin pullback down from, 25K under 24K. It was about 23,500 or so. So that was understandable. But then you get with all the traders and stuff exiting out and trying to preserve the US dollars. But then, of course, you get the second time here. This just happened only an hour or two ago. And then, of course, you get at 5.6. And then you get some of these sellers coming in. It did bounce off 5.4. And then you can see it back up 5.529. Currently at 549. But hey, look, we really want to break that attempt. Let's go to the hourly chart and have a look at that. So this is 3 attempts now. 1, 2, 3. This one's not quite over yet, so I'm not rescinded on this one. Typically, if you have three goes normally and you fail, normally you're going to go down. But this chart's still looking, it's still got higher lows in it, and still looks like it's going to try and do it. And certainly we're getting the right news coming out regarding Hex itself with the share rate and things like that. So we'll still watch this one and see whether we can bust out here. Maybe a friendly whale will help us do it, and up into the 6 to 10 cent range. That'd be very, very exciting. And of course we don't have any Pulsechain testnet v3 news at the moment, but that'd be cool too. All right, so we're up still up 6.88% on the 24-hour basis. Let's go to the 4-hourly candles. This is our 4-hourly view here, so you can see a nice strong uptrend still, but we are at our 3rd attempt, and it'll be pretty cool this weekend to get over that. Obviously with crypto doing well, that probably bodes well for us as well. So still looking pretty optimistic. This chart's still looking pretty good, but we are at 3 attempts at 5.6. We can do it. Yes, we can. And that's why I've got in the title of the video, Breakout, Hex Breakout, question mark, exclamation mark there. So stay tuned, folks. This weekend could be pretty interesting for the old Hex price there. Now remember, Hex is not only just doing well on its own fundamentals, T-shares getting rarer, going to probably be more expensive in the future, the share rate going up, people getting less T-shares, especially the short-term big large stakers. That's all playing out. But it's also the fact that the rewards are going to be going up for those who are remaining T-shares holders. There's so many pump mentals in that sort of supply side aspect. And on the buy side, we're getting a lot more people entering, got good growth on the buy side. And of course, we've also got not just the Hex narrative, but the Pulsechain narrative, Hex, really reflects the Pulse coin at the moment, because there's no Pulse coin until mainnet for Pulsechain. So in the meantime, Richard Hart's first coin, Hex, is the proxy for Pulsechain. And of course, that's going to bode well for people wanting to get that as well. You don't forget, you're also going to get a copy on Pulsechain when Pulsechain launches. So it really is got that double whammy in it. We're watching this big time. It is still down about 90% as well, or so. So it's still down a fair bit. So that's a pretty good price entry relative to a 10,000x. I have the price around about 52 cents. I know some people have 56. I know some people have slightly lower. That's kind of where I have the price point for the all-time high. So let's see how we go here at the moment. All right, so over the last 24 hours, let's go to the daily candle and have a look at that. So that's the daily candles there with our view. And let's see how we get on. We've got 289 buys on the 24 hours as the top trading pair. 289 buys, 81 sells in the trades. So it's 61 trades buys. 61% of trades are buys. In terms of the volume, that 61 is pretty close in volume. 58% is volume. Buy volume, $2.6 million US on the top trading pair against USDC versus 1.9 million sell at 42%. So it's kind of cool there. Last 6 hours, that trend is almost break even here, but the buyers are slightly ahead there at 604K. In the last hour, of course, we are slightly ahead there, 63K versus 45 with eight trades versus 9. So kind of cool there. Feeling optimistic, and we've got all the right uptrend in here. Still looking pretty good, and you can see on the data here, the EMA is still looking very strong here with the short-term 9-day SMA, sorry. EMA here, sorry, is over the 21-day. So still looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI is below overbought. So we've got room to move. We've got room to move, break out here. Let's see how we get on there. And if we jump back to the 4-hourly, you can see we've got plenty of room as well. So looking pretty nice there for the old Hex. Jumping to the Hex Whalebot, we've got 4.2 million Hex just sold for 219,000. That was 22 hours ago. 2.5 million staked for 5555. We've seen a lot of big stakes in the last couple of days. Isn't that exciting? I think that's pretty cool. And of course, that share rate's jumping, so people are getting their stakes in. So that's kind of cool to see that. Very nice. There's people kind of happy with all that. What else? Let's have a look here. We got 50 million Hex in staked. This is 1,095, so an old OG stake. We've seen quite a few of these come out as well. And of course, we are in the 3rd month of the 4th year, so not surprising that Hexicans back in the day were pushing stakes out this long, a sort of 3-year period. And 154% ROI, 51% APY, nothing to snooze at. 77 million Hex there on 50 million. Very, very cool. Damn, yeah, damn. All right, that is pretty awesome there. That's pretty nice. All right. Yeah, February the 18th, 2020 is what's on worked out. The stake was put in. All right, 5.3 million Hex bought 7 hours ago for 293,000. Yeah, let's do it. And of course, 3.3 million's just bought as well, 7 hours there as well. And then 4 hours ago, 4.9 million Hex bought for 271,000. And we've just turned over the day, by the way. So the day's just flicking over for the Hex day. So we'll get Hex data stats out in probably about 15-20 minutes. So looking pretty good, folks. Looking pretty good indeed. Let's have a look at any comments on this one. So cool. One of us. Yeah. I love this stuff there. So very cool on the old Whalebot there. Let's jump over to Uniswap. Have a quick look at the V3 pair Uni. So remember, there's 4 main pairs. The biggest one is USDC Hex. Let's have a look at the liquidity on here. Now, this doesn't include limit orders stuff or dry powder that's sitting off market, so that can change the game. But in terms of liquidity, for the top pair, we're sitting here. We've got all the buy side stuff on the right hand here side, all the sell stuff on the left hand, and of course you can see that we go off these cliffs here. We've got a 5.7 there. We've got almost 5.96, almost 6 cents. And then this last one here, 6.47, which is close to our next target, right? 6.5 cents. So if we break this out, so that's kind of cool. See how we get on there. And then we got this, look at also supply way down here at these high prices. All these little candles, they're all about 90,000 Hex long. Is how big these are. These candles here towards 6.5 cents. These are around about 420,000 Hex on these, so it gives you an idea of what those candles are like. Let's jump over to overall liquidity though. And of course, here we are on lookintohex.com by Gerardo, and we can see, let's do a refresh. I'm not sure if it auto updates with the API, but we'll do a refresh there. We got almost 10 million USDC in that in the USDC pairs, the two of them. We've got ETH pairs there, two of those, 4.9 million. So 53 and 26% respectively. You can see that in the chart. Let's have a look at the bid and ask overall. So we're sitting at 13 million on the bid side, the green, so buyers, and the ask there 5.6 on there. So 70% to 30%. So very nice setup here. And bring on the Hex pump. 5.5 cents. Here we are, man. Are we going to get a Hex token channel pump live? I don't know. We'll hope for, fingers crossed there. Now, we did have a poll that I did remember. I'm going to refresh this so we get the latest numbers here. I did read this out yesterday. We've got 281 votes now, so a few more votes than we had before. It seems close, but will the Hex price break out on its second attempt? Well, now we're on the third attempt, right? Now we're on the third attempt at 5.6 cents. So I guess it's a little deprecated here. But yes, 6 to 10% there, 58%. That's definitely climbed. I think we were at 51% yesterday. It's gone to 58%, so almost 3 in 5 people. But 1 in 4 people on the second attempt at least thought we would go down. So it's a little bit deprecated this because we're on our third attempt. But some interesting insight there. It looks like at first we thought that we will go down, but now it does be turning to the majority here. It's going to be fun to see that. So that is going on there. Now I have to play this video. This is hilarious. So this was posted by someone called Mitch here on Twitter, and of course I had to play this video of this kid crying. Watch this. This is so funny. This is really cute. So we're going to watch this. Let us go. I'm going to go back to the beginning here. So this kid is basically crying. Watch his behavior. It's a bit funny here. So that was pretty funny. The kid's crying, and the parent just throws some money, and the kid stops crying. That's hilarious. That really is funny. All right, we're going to get to Hadron as well. So Hadron here is at 2.2 cents. Sorry, 2,200 is the one here. I've got to remember I've got so many more zeros on the Hadron. 5 zeros and 2,200. So a nice little green candle today. We've still got the bullish numbers here, but it definitely slowed down in the pace there, and also following Hex. So having a look here on the daily candle, we've still got the RSI is at 55, so still in the bullish zone, but well front overbought is at 70, so this has got a lot of room to potentially move. And the trend is your friend here on the DMI. The buyers are still in control of the trend. So looking at the 24 hours, we've got 36 buys and 11 sells, so 76% buys here. We've got the volume is also similar. It's at 70% buy volume, 76k versus 32k there. On that, and there's 1.2 million in the liquidity pool. That is pretty much Hadron. Let's jump over to Ikosa, and of course the liquidity auctions here. We currently got tons of them. We've got 4,023 in the liquidation queue that have not yet been bought into the auctions, and then we've got how many in the auction house already? We've got 30 in the auction house today. We are in that second wave, remember, for February. The next one is going to be in May. So we started off in, was it November last year? I think it was. And so, yeah, this is kind of where we are at the moment. Let's see how many. There's a lot of big ones still available. 33 tiers, 64 T shares, 37 T shares. You can see some of the bids on here, 3 billion, etc. So some varying bids on there with a couple hours to go. It's going to be a bit of a fight over these top ones here. Not much Hadron bid on those from the looks of it. So it's going to be interesting. 37 T shares, 15 T shares, 19 T shares, 14. There's lots up for grabs. There's heaps of them. Look at them all. Really lots of T shares here indeed. Up for grabs today. So if that's something you want to go and bid on, use your Hadron. And of course, you go to app.ikosa.pro. You'll find that in our Discord under useful links under Hadron and Ikosa. That is definitely looking good there. All right, so that is that. Let's have a look at the Wattses. Dev Huey said 6 Watts NFTs have been burned in the last 24 hours. That's 5,171 endpoints. And so that's another good day in the office. But that still leaves 21,619. People are not letting go of these things. So I think this has been pretty successful from a design, gamification, tokenomics point of view as well. So that's looking pretty good. All right, so that is where we're up on there. Dev Huey also put out here Hex HSI sent to Ikosa buyback during the second cycle and third cycle so far, which is coming up in May. I think it's on the lower side, but definitely stuff's coming in here. What's this, the 23rd of January? We've got different stuff being sold back to in terms of T-shares here. So that's also in play. A couple of charts here. T-shares sold for Ikosa, and T-shares sold for Ikosa there on this one as well in the last couple of days, 15th, 14th. So we can see 50 T-shares here in a couple of days. The first day had quite good, over 400 T-shares there. Sold for Ikosa there on that one. So that's Dev Huey. Check out Dev Huey. Dev underscore Huey is his link. Dev underscore Huey if you want to find him out. But he's doing a lot of alpha data there for Hadron and Ikosa, which is really cool. And he has his official site, right? If you want to go to all the information, hexmodel.com, but you can find the under useful links in our Discord as well. So check that out. Pretty sure that's there. All right, our Pulsechain news for today, which is funny because it's also was news yesterday, and of course we're having a special live stream in about 2.5 hours with the Power City team. But Power City here has talked about what if we found a way to make Earn protocol. Remember, this is the fork of Liquidity that's going to be based on Pulse X rather than Liquid Loans, which is based on Pulse. And of course, this is going to be great for stablecoin. What if we found a way to make Earn protocol better without adding risk in the code? Stay tuned, testing now. So that's kind of cool. And that is from Power City, but we'll hear more from them in about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours. And don't miss that live stream. It's going to be fun to see. All right, so that is Power City. We're going to get into Hex Daily Stats. This is the big move today. Before we do that, though, let's get into the comments and catch up because I'm miles behind, no doubt. We're up to 32 minutes in the live stream. Man, this is going to be possibly the shortest live stream I have done in a long time. But it's good to see everybody in the chat there as well. 57 people watching at the moment. Big shout out and a big welcome to all of you. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. And of course, join our free Discord if you love great information about Pulsechain, Hex, Pulsex, and of course all the Pulsechain ecosystem projects. Definitely get in there. It's all free. And of course, we've got the great community. A lot of people there love to help each other out. It's really cool. What else? We've got Ted Nelson says Pennsylvania, USA. Nice. I think we got up to some of those comments. Here we got Double Blessing says g'day from Melbourne. Good to see you, Double Blessing. I haven't been to Melbourne myself. One of those cities I would like to go to. Why is the population of Ireland? I think we got up to that one. Let's jump through those. Mixer says prayers going out for all the people affected by the weather. Yeah, I think UK I think was going to have some storms coming their way, if I remember rightly. Can't remember what it was called. But I thought the UK was going to have a storm coming as well. Terrible old Drake says PSI. Yesterday 40 cents. Today got a cardion. 40 degrees Celsius. Today got a cardion. Gotta love Melbourne, says Double. Yeah, that's pretty hot. That's 40 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Sandy Beach. We've got Cookies in Crypto as well. Woo! Good to see you, Cookies in Crypto. Big welcome to you. There's a big welcome for you with the woohoos. I like that. Who else has jumped in here? Property Review in the house. A big shout out. If you haven't checked out Property Review show, you like Mega Mansions. Property Review is an international realtor and also a hexagon. And he's got his channel, Property Review, covers mega mansions from all around the world. So if you want a professional and you want to have a good talk through, he does talk throughs on his channel, then definitely check it out. I've been enjoying his channel. Big shout out to you, Property Review. Appreciate it. And PSI says it was very interesting. There has been a large inflow of retail investors into the stock market during the recent run and not much institutional money. Yeah, that's always a bit of a clue there too. PSI says, but it's the opposite for crypto, more institutional money, more going to crypto. I agree with you on that too, PSI. I still think that the institutional investing in crypto is still early, still very early. It's only been like, 2-3 years. I think that that's got a long way to run, all the way to probably 2030 as that adoption increases. You can imagine more risk-taking, more as crypto gets more mature, that's less risk-taking, and generally speaking, and be less volatile. And of course, also that becomes a bigger part of portfolios. Now, they'll be very discerning about what they put in their portfolios, but that's definitely going to be cool to see that play out. But he opposite of crypto. Let me go. PSI said that was on CNBC today. Very good insight there, PSI. Crypto Life in the house that evening. Good evening to you as well. Woke up and dove right in. Nice, I like that. Stevie D says, love your thumbnail today. I appreciate that. Don't you like thumbnail? That just jumping in there on the wall there, and I think they're maybe I don't know what they are, Shaolin monks or something like that, but they're doing their physical training. That's a pretty good thumbnail, though, indeed. G'day, Hexicans. Hope everybody has a great weekend. One day closer to Pulsechain. We are indeed. CVD says Hex meetup with Washington State Hexicans tonight. R8 Max will stream live from the event. And that's awesome. That's awesome. So great to see that. So if you want to check out R8 Max on that meetup for Hexicans. We've got Toby One in the house there. Hex, Hadron, Zen, Hex at 5.5 cents. Indeed, indeed. So looking really good, old Hex. So definitely cool. Hadron as well. And I haven't actually checked the Zen today. We did. It was one of my honorable mentions yesterday, I think it was. But yeah, we'll definitely get that in. Now, I actually didn't check up the other charts. We will check those up because I didn't actually have a look at the charts to see which was an honorable mention today because I had technical issues at the beginning. But I will definitely pull that up after the Hex Daily Stats. So stay tuned for that. Let me know in the chat any charts you want me to look up, as long as they're not, it's too scammy. All right, what else there? Hex comes from here comes the Hex token channel pump. Yeah, we may very well get it. I was hoping we would. That'd be awesome because then that would build up the narrative of a Hex token live stream and Hex token channel pumps. But the problem is because we cover the end of the Hex day, often when there's big staking comes out, a small percentage of that may end up selling or something like that happens at the end of the day. So it can be the other way as too. Tintop in the house there. What's up, Hexicans? What's up? Good to see you, Tintop. Creepy Coin in the house as well. Let me just mute the my other screen. Hello, Creepy Coin. Good to see you. And Sandy Beach says Cabana Raid. No, Cabana Raid. Whoa. Cabana Raid in the house. Big fan of Cabana. And Josh says, hey. Good to see you, Briz. Welcome. Right, Briz coming just from the time for the Hex Daily Stats, which is kind of perfect timing there, Briz. So let's get into it. The Hex Daily Stats is coming. Let's do it. This is the big news today, to be honest, and has a lot of ramifications. All right, the crowd is excited. We've got Hex at 5.5 cents. Let's get into it. So day 1172. Is it off the press? I'm pretty sure. No, we haven't got it. It's not here. It's not here. Oh, I'm too early. Because I'm so early in the live stream. I'm too early here. We've still got a couple of minutes to go, at least, before the Hex Daily Stats comes out. There we go. So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to look at the some of the honorable mentions in the chart. So we're going to do that first instead of after the Hex Daily Stats, because we've still got a few minutes to go before it comes out. So let's have a look here. So let's rank this by percentage here. So we've got communists. The name that we do not name is the no name project, and we say no names about it. It is communist. It is 20% today. I'm sure that was up yesterday as well. Let's go check that out. Communist. This is our honorable mentions today, folks. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's been up the last 3 days, so pretty cool. It's got a lot of zeros in it though, to be honest. But it has lost some zeros. It's gone from 9 zeros or 8 zeros. It seems to okay. It's gone from 9 zeros to no, it's gone from 11 zeros to 10 zeros, and it's at 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And that is communist there, and of course that was another airdrop one. That was so that's kind of cool. Now remember, the liquidity has actually gone up as well. It's sort of 137, but I remember when it was first claimable, it was only like a couple of dollars, right? I think that was the case. So that is that, but it's having a nice move up. So kind of cool. What else we got going there? We got Pulse Dogecoin. Looks like that's honorable mention as well. That is up 12.34%. And let's have a look at this chart for Pulse Dogecoin. And of course, remember, this the supply got really burned off, right? So there's only about 2.6 million tokens or something. And liquidity at 159k. We're at $4.04 here, so nice little last 2 days, kind of good. And hey, look, is this going to get back to former glory? I'm sure it'll probably have a good chance of it. Let's see. Let's wait and see there on this one. Now, Internet Money is also up there, 12%. That's on a double-digit gain. Let's have a quick look at Internet Money. This is on the ETH chain, by the way. Obviously, remember they airdropped the ETH chain there to existing holders of the BSC chain, IM. This is different from the wallet, which is WD for Internet Money. Now, they're looking to launch in the next maybe 5-6 weeks or something. And I think Internet Money has a live stream on today, an AMA on that as well. So if you want to check out Internet Money on Twitter, I think they have AMA. But hey, looks at a pretty nice little pump here. It's also got 7 zeros in front, and it's currently at 6,141, but it's pumped all the way from 5,324 with 7 zeros in front. let's have a quick look at that over the last 2 days. Actually got really high, actually got up to almost 6,700, so 25% pump in 2 days, but is currently up around about 15.6% there. Welcome to crypto, but that is there. Not many trades though, 11 buys versus 7 sells, but 61% on the buy side. And of course, it is a small retail play, relatively speaking, on the old IM, but will be part of the Internet Money wallet ecosystem there as well. So it's going to be cool. We'll have to get KG back on the show, give us an update as well on this one. All right, so that is that, and we got the. I think that's probably it from our honorable mentions. Let's go to my other perspective, and we'll have a quick look there. Zen still holding up at 1266, so it's holding up, and hit 10,000, and it's basically bounced there to 12. Hit 1,000, it's bounced to 1266, so it's kind of cool. What else there? Weight is up 6% as well. So this is on the airdrop free claims tab. PP is down. It's down 6%. And as we went through communists, let's have a quick look at the Pulse Bitcoin ecosystem. $4.404 on Pulse Dogecoin. That was the standout one. We talked about that. Pulse Bitcoin is down 7% to $7.86. Some volatility too in the last couple of days. And ASIC there is down to $1.31 after having a nice little move higher, but no, got a profit taking on that and down. Did get up to $1.50. So there we are. A little bit of pullback on its way up to glory. You just never know how things go there. All right, hey, but you guys, I've said this for a while, and that is that Pulsechain is the main game. It's getting closer, and you need to make decisions about your portfolio allocation. Obviously not investment advice, just suggestion, but the main game is about to be played. It's been good during 2022. We've had a lot of options with a lot of these projects, but you got to think about the main game, and that's the Richard Hart game, right? So just take that into consideration there as well. All right, let's jump over to Maximus quickly, have a look at that. Waiting for the Hex Daily stats to come out there, because I've been so quick on today's live stream, because we haven't had that much news today. We've got the premium, let's have a look, is at 18%, so dropped off there on old Maximus from 24 premium down to 18. Remember, this is around about the 30th largest stake in Hex. It is going to be one of the giants, probably giant 2 or 3 stakes out in about 14-15 years time, so it's going to be a pretty big deal. Decimus there is this is the 10-year perpetual. Let's have a look at this. This is currently at a discount of 19 on Hex, so there we are. Pretty big discount too. The longer ones are being discounted for the perpetuals for some reason, and that is the way, because I guess the market's just got just pricing up the near term. About 16 there on Lucky, and the trio there is probably pretty close as well. You can see the price is at 5.47. That is just, that was slightly above Hex yesterday, just a tad below now, 99.66. Remember that you got to take into account the smaller liquidity pools for these ownership tokens as well. And remember, people can stake their ownership tokens for higher yield, so there's a bit more complexity in there. But hey, look, you're getting bigger pays better. You're typically getting the cheap gas fees at the end as well. So there's a lot of optimizations in these second layer projects. But there is issues around, I guess, the ownership liquidity as well. So you got to take that into account. There's a bit of trade-off there. That is the numbers. So let's go back to the Hex chart here and pull this back up. And we're at 5.5. Are we going to break out? How are we doing for time? We're up to 45 minutes. We've got 75 people watching, so big welcome to all of you. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button at the bell as well. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. 5.5 cents on Hex. Are we going to break out? Our third attempt at Hex. Trying to break out here. This is the 4-hourly chart. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Come on. We just need some little Hex Goldwell come in and give us a little wick. Oh yeah, give us a little bam. Not too high though. Not too high. Just a little one, just to nudge us over, just enough to nudge us over 6 cents, because you don't want to make it too aggressive. Otherwise, you're going to bring out the big bags, to sell into it and wreck our chart. So we just a slow and sure there is fine. All right, we got day 1173 hot off the press. Here it is. So the 23rd of the 17th of February 2023. We're at 5.497 cents, almost 5.5, up 6.9% on yesterday. We have the Hex payout is 6.373. Beautiful, folks. Hex is all about getting T-shares, and man, it is looking glorious today. 6.37. It is awesome. It's close to the base as well. It's very exciting to see that. The T-share price, $1,454. Now, I did see a warning out there on by Robbie, Big Hexkin, and of course he was saying, get your T-shares while you can. This is his opinion, not mine. I may agree with him. This is his opinion, not financial advice. But he was talking about, get your T-shares while you can, because they may be $20,000 soon. So just remember that as well. Now, obviously, I think we're somewhere between $13,500, $14,000 a T-share if we get back to the Hex old time price there. But let's do some maths on live stream here, because that would be fun. So 1,454 is the current price of the T-share. Remember, you can get this for a third of the value if you do longer pays better. You get 20% more shares when you stake and burn your Hex. You get shares in return as part of your the ownership pool. And of course, you get 20% more per year. Up to 10 years, it's 200%. So you can get it for a third, but you've got to go longer pays better. There's a trade-off. So there we are. Here it is, folks, the T-share rate. So I expected this yesterday to come in 600. We got a dot day yesterday. That was a little bit off-putting, but hey, not surprised, because sometimes these things come in the day later, and they always trick you out with that. They always trick you out. But anyway, we got the big 600 Hex to a T-share. It is 624 Hex per T-share increase in the share rate. That is a huge day in the office. But hey, look, back here, we also had 82. We also had 6.4, 5.6, 7.1, 12.9. It's been increasing every day except for yesterday. So look, folks, this share rate is going up and to the right. Bam, T-shares are becoming intrinsically more valuable from the supply side, and that is a big deal. So 624 increase today, 26,459 Hex per T-share. Obviously, longer pays better, get you for a third of the price. That is pretty much it. Let's bring up the calculator and do some tensor calculus. We're going to do some tensor calculus live. I'm not doing tensor calculus. We're going to do some basic maths here. So jokes aside here, 26,459 times the old all-time high price, which I have at around 52, so I'm going to use that. And that is $13,758 if we get back to the all-time high price. That is $13,768. Remember, the T-share rate's going up over time. And of course, the Hex price, if it breaks all-time high, then you could quickly see us getting to that Robbie Davidson 20K. And of course, 20K in Prey, is it? 20K in Prey? No, 11K in Prey. No, so $13,758 would be how much it would get you to be a T-share if you want to do short-term staking, for example. That is the play. So cool. Let's get on to the Hex stake length. Average Hex stake length, 6.76. Oh, before we jump on the share rate, actually, we're going to bring up the old Hexfire. This is Crispy Man's chart here. So you can see yesterday we were a little bit off-putted by this because we had the 15th, we had the share rate at 25,763. Then on the 16th we had 26. Sorry, I've lost the chart there. I've toggled it on. We had on the 16th we had jumping to 26,454. So this was actually pretty close, but the data came in on the 17th. So that was the trick there. So yeah, there's obviously a day lag between that and this here, which is came in on the 17th. So a little trick there, but something for we've got as a lesson in the future. We average stake length there, 6.76 years, and the APY rate there. So it does look like this is pretty good in terms of the calculation. Maybe just a day removed. So the T plus one. All right, there's a bit of fun there. All right, so cool. That is looking at. Big shout out to Crispy Man. Appreciate your efforts. All right, so we also got the Hex Global Stakes coming up at the moment as well. This is what it looks like. We've got all these short-term large holders staking. They're all going to be paying that 624 Hex per T-share plus the 82. So it's all gone up. They're getting less T-shares. That's just the way it works there. Will we see the Hex Godwell restake short-term as well? That's going to be interesting. So fun times. Let's see what happens there. That is pretty much it. Let's jump over to liquidity in the pool. 69 million Hex in the pool. That's down dramatically. Remember, we were up at 288 million not too long ago. If we go back and have a look at that, less than 30 days, yeah, on day 1148, we're up at 288 million Hex in the pool. 288 million Hex in the pool. And of course, coming down to today, we're down at 69 million Hex in the pool. That is beautiful. Love AMMs, right? Really cool. We're going to continue on here. Let's get over to T-shares. So remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have an ownership, a reward pool, I should say, with inflation and penalties in it. We have an ownership pool with T-shares in it, stands for trillions of shares. If the reward pool or ownership pool go up or down each day, then the Hex payout per T-share goes up and down each day. And of course, typically that's just going to go up and to the right. So that's pretty exciting to be part of. The T-shares, however, in the ownership pool are up 11,592, and we're sitting at 10,154,233. Man, oh man, oh man, that was a big decrease there from the Hex Goldwell and other stakes in there the other day, under 37 as well. So pretty cool on that decrease there. So the pay amount, the Hex payout per T-share, as we say, if the Hex ownership pool's going down, then your payment, your Hex payout per T-share is going up, and that occurred yesterday. It was very juicy. If you've got Hex is all about getting T-shares, and of course the share rate's not waiting for anybody. The earlier you get it, the better. So you got longer pays better bonuses, bigger pays better, and of course earlier pays better. In other words, the share rate's going up. So obviously, if you take out your Hex, effective Hex, and you divide it by the share rate, then obviously the share rate's higher. You're going to get less T-shares. So remember that. All right, we had 573,000 in Hex penalties today. So the last 2 days have been pretty low. But of course, we had this big, nice, good accounting here the other day, about 90 million in there, and that gave us with a total of 26 million in good accounting, was pretty good. So being a Hex skin's pretty good. We get not only get the inflation, we get the penalties as well. So cool. Let's have a look at the growth of Hex on Etherscan. We're up 100 accounts to 319,827. And of course, our stakers are up 17 today, so pretty modest on staking today, 118,771. Now, as I always say, Richard Hart always says, get out there and spread the word. You know, do direct promotions, things like that. We all play, the community plays a huge role in the growth of the ecosystem, so get out and do that. You couldn't ask for better with the big price pullback from all-time high, with the supply side mechanisms, with the demand side mechanisms happening, with the Pulsechain narrative, highest of stakes, Hex Investment Trust, Overwatch, Rack and Michelle, everything blockchain, so much coming in this ecosystem. CeFi and centralized finance getting wrecked, getting regulated, and of course DeFi is going to flourish. I mean, you couldn't ask for the best lineup. It is a dream lineup for the future here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, obviously, nothing on this channel is investment advice, but you know, it speaks for itself almost. All right, so cool. We're up. Total holders up 217 to 531,443, folks. That is Hex for day 1173. We're currently on day 1174. And of course, our base payout is pretty close to 6.34 Hex per T-share. So the more T-shares you get, that's the main game in Hex. Check out hex.com in the video description. 6.34 Hex per T-share, and that's beautiful. And of course, it's just going up and to the right. So it's just going to keep going. Is fantastic. Now, obviously, also mathematically, staking between 10 and 15 years, it really goes up really exponentially. It's really quite neat. So you can see why people do that. There's a time trade-off though, and you have to take that into account as well. So very exciting, folks. Looking really good. All right, that is the Hex daily stats, and of course the Hex price here at a pivotal point here. Third time trying to break out of 5.5 cents. Let's see how we get on. Let's get into some of the comments. I'm sure we've got a few more since I jumped in there. Let's do it. We've got Briz in the house there. Says, wait a minute, we've got Blockfish King first. And got to love the emojis. Yeah, the emojis look pretty good. If you want to get some of the emojis in the chat there, you just have to become a Hex Token channel member. Hit the join button. They're pretty modest memberships as well. So that you get access to emojis. We've got Pulsechain, Hexskins, and the Richard Hart Club. And if you want to support this channel, we do live streams every single day. And we're going to be doing quite a few interviews over the next week. We're doing Power City today, which is one of our top tier projects on Pulsechain. They're building out multiple utility projects based on revenue models, business models, which is fantastic. They're my favorite. And of course, we've also got two other big interviews coming up this week that you can stay tuned for. So look forward to that. It's going to be a fun week ahead with interviews. As you guys know, I haven't been doing that many these days, but we're going to be interviewing some of these top players in the ecosystem. So enjoy. I enjoy it, so I hope you guys do too. Hex Daily Stats is Briz. Definitely Hex Daily Stats. It's good. You can't ask for better. It's looking really good, the Hex Daily Stats. Superman Hex Pump coming tonight. Maybe tonight, yeah. Maybe not on the live stream. Maybe during Power City time. Who knows? Maybe Power City Pump on the old Hex price there. Toby One says Hex Daily Stats updated. Yeah, finally got to that. Thanks for that, Toby One. Brother says, lock those T-shares up for as long as you can. Stomach it, says Briz. Hey, look, the alternative you also has is a staking ladder, and that's my favorite strategy. Now, obviously, mathematically speaking in Hex, the best by a long mile is staking out 15.2 years or 5,555 days. You can't beat it. It's dramatically different, particularly between year 10 and 15. But obviously, people have different priorities, people at different ages and all sorts of stuff. So I do prefer a staking ladder strategy. When typically some people say maybe stake out long and then pull your stakings towards you is one strategy people have. But I just basically think if you've got want to do, let's say you had $10,000, you want to put them over a certain period of time, and you should break them up and do that on a frequency that you had. So you can get sort of see you customize it to what you need there. Christian is in the house there. The Wook Wook is in the house. Good to see you, Christian. I can stomach it for 6,666 days, but only 5,505 days is possible, says Toby One. I like that. That's pretty funny. Oh no, Matt's on stream, says Matt's on stream, says Sandy Beach. Yeah, it was pretty basic stuff there. CryptoCoin says 9,000 Hex, 3,651, 1 T-share. Nice. So 9,000 Hex there, 3,650 days. That is 1 T-share. Astro says strongest community in crypto. It is indeed. We're in honestly, the lineup for this ecosystem is unbelievably dreamy. Everything is played out from not just the product itself, but also what's happened in the wider crypto space is unbelievable. How it's played out for the Pulsechain Hex ecosystem. If you're in crypto, there are tens of thousands of cryptos. You're really looking for the gold standard. Hey, look, I always like a bit of speculation. I think crypto is fun. It's innovative. There's lots of stuff there. But when I talk about speculative stuff, I'm really talking about it's a very small percentage of your portfolio. Just remember that. So really, you got to go for the gold standard. Richard Hart products are the gold standard. And that's why it takes a lot of care in terms of, doing code and getting it all up and running, right? So it's very exciting to see that. All right, Kristen says almost $1,500 for 1 T-share. Wow, says Christian. Machiavelli in house. Good to see Machiavelli. Rockets to the right as well. Astro says since ZK rollups will be open source, it is safe to assume we could upgrade the chain following ETH as a reasonable time frame. Yep, I agree with that. So ZK rollups definitely increase the TPS of the chain. Will happen, and of course we also can do the Shanghai fork as well at choice as well. Tintop says Matty Allen showed last night that the Godwell has more T-shares than the OA. Yeah, I think, was he using there's a lot of controversy around the data that's coming out for the Godwell, so I'd just be cautious about that because I'm pretty sure he was using the Telegram data, and I think there's questions over that, the number of addresses, but it's great covering up, not knocking that. I just there is a lot of different information going around the Godwell stuff, so just be take it for what it is, but I think you got to be a little critical about that space. That's all I'd say. Bob Wells says, gotta love chain analysis, says Bob. Yeah, if it's accurate. Yeah, if it's accurate. Bob Wells says, I sent my son the ether link to the 440 address, told him to learn a thing or two, says Bob Wells. We've got J-Man in the house as well. Yo, good to see you, J-Man. Very, very cool. All right, so Hex at the moment, 5.5. Are we going to do it? Can we do it? This is the quietest day we've had on the Pulsechain news, but we have got Power City coming up in 2 hours' time. We have our second live stream for the day with Power City, one of our truly top teams, building out so many utilities that are going to help, with the whole Pulsechain, amplify the Pulsechain goodness there, and of course, one of the best ways of getting Pulse that are out there easily. And for me, probably the best actually post Pulsechain launch in the short term. Will be Power City. You stake for Watt token, you get your Pulse as all the businesses that they operate and the utilities fund fees and so forth. So we're going to deep dive into that in Power City. Get your questions ready, bring them as well. We'll have a Q&A time hopefully in the end there. So get in there, maybe during the whole thing, who knows. But get in there with your questions. Make sure they're good ones, What will marketing be like? Ask them some pertinent questions, obviously constructive questions, but you get them in there. It's going to be fun to see. They've got an incredible roadmap and they're building out incredible stuff. They've got an incredible team, so it's a good chance to deep dive in there. Just as Jesse, probably one of the best around not just general crypto and obviously what they're doing in Power City and liquid loans, but also on stable coins as well. So if you've got any questions about stable coins, regulations, get those in as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. As you guys know, I love covering stablecoins because they're such a big part of DeFi. So it's going to be cool. We're going to have 4 at least native. So it's going to be cool. Astro says hexagons are everywhere. They're everywhere and they're going to be growing pretty fast. We're going to have a huge, if you think our community is big now, maybe in the hundreds of thousands, imagine after Pulsechain, after say 12 months of Pulsechain, we're talking about potentially a million plus people in the ecosystem is probably where we're going to head. So look forward to that. 2 chains as well, ETH chain and Pulsechain. It's going to be fun to see. Obviously, onboarding is going to be easier on Pulsechain, but I suspect we'll have 2 very good chains running the Hex code. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot of the income effect and wealth effects playing out on Pulsechain. It's going to be epic. I feel like talking about Pulsechain for now, but we're not going to. Do Power City still have the Watt token, or now it's called the Earn token? So they have the Watt token is their core product. So they have the core. You get the Watt token from, well, initially you get it from sacrificing. Their sacrifice is still open. You get 1 Watt token per 1 point. And of course you can put your Watt token into the core, and then you benefit from all the utility businesses that are going to feed their fees into that, like the Transformer Bridge. So that's going to be cool. The Earn, of course, is separate. That is their new product. So they announced that they're going to fork Liquidity, just like Liquid Loans did. But instead of using Pulse, like Liquid Loans will do for their collateral, they're going to use and issue their stablecoin. They're going to use PulseX to issue their stablecoin. And you can have the Earn token on that platform. So it's going to be cool. We'll find out more about that when Power City, we've got it in 2 hours' time. So bring that question. Again, Pulse and Beta to the Power City live stream in 2 hours' time. It's going to be pretty epic. Yeah, 2 hours, just under 2 hours, actually, an hour and 15 minutes. So pretty cool. We've got Astro as well. Good to see your family. Good to see Astro. Christian Cos says, I'm waiting for the Power City to launch. Me too. I think it's going to be fantastic. The multi-chain bridge is going to be epic. Epic. I'm looking for that in particular. So we bring your questions, man. It's going to be fun. We're going to have 2 of their awesome members. The whole lineup of the team's fantastic. Toshi, Flow, and the rest of them. But get into it. We're going to have KDP, big influence on Twitter, not just in the Power City team, but big influence on Twitter. Of course, Just Us Jesse, big influencer as well in his own right. So it's going to be fun to have both of them on together. Power City is much more promising today than they were at start off. I know they are. I agree with you, Astro. They've definitely rolled out, and I don't see them stopping. There are so many products that they can bring that aren't even in crypto, and there's so many products that are in crypto they can bring into Pulsechain. It's going to be beautiful, man. Power City is a big player. We're going to have at least half a dozen big players, and they're going to be at the top of that list so far at the moment. So it's going to be fun. All right, we're at an hour and 3 minutes. We've got the price at 5.5. I'm going to wrap up now. Don't forget to join me in about an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to have Power City, KDP, and Just Us Jesse. It's going to be awesome. Bring your questions and get excited. This is a AAA project. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Tell your friends. It's going to be a lot of good info there. Alpha drop big time today. All right, take care, everybody. I'm going to wrap up. Let's see how we get on here. I got to bring in my old music because I had to reset everything. Bam. That's funny. The worst thing when you do live streaming, doing YouTubing, is they try to set up and something you have some technical issues and it doesn't quite play out. It's like, what? All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Catch you in less than 2 hours. It's going to be awesome. All right, bye for now. Take care.